My name is Jennifer Bartoszek. I have been a goddess since 2004, and I am from Salem, New Hampshire. I worked a full-time job. I made a decent living, but there wasn't a lot of money for those extras. So dance lessons and guitar lessons and costumes and trips and roller skating parties, all those extras that I never had the extra money for, I had throughout the years because of Athena's. Before I moved to Minnesota, my business was thriving. I'd been laid off from my corporate job a few years earlier when I was pregnant with my third child, so decided that I would stay home with the kids while they, at least for the first year, and do my parties, and that would balance out our family income. And that worked the first year. 5, 6, 7 years into the business, it just continued to grow and thrive, and I got busier, and going back to work seemed less and less of an option because I was home with my babies. I wasn't dropping them off to somebody else. I got to experience all the firsts with my youngest that I didn't get to experience with the older kids, and all because I was doing 10, 12, 15 parties a month. We had a lot of high hopes for what this was going to do for our family, my business, and our future. I had it all. I had the perfect husband. I had the perfect family. I had beautiful, healthy children. I had a beautiful home. And just one day it was gone. One day you find out that your life isn't what you thought it was, and it's just like a perfect picture on the wall that hits the floor and shatters, and you can't even make out any of the pieces to put it back together. All of a sudden you find out that your husband has moved on to somebody else and doesn't want to be married to you anymore, doesn't want to raise your children with you anymore, and what would you do if you woke up one day and you were somebody else in another life? Because that's what it was. It was like my life was stolen, and I woke up with someone else's life. The only thing that got me through that initial shock and those first days and weeks were goddesses. I've made so many friends through the decade I've been with Athena's that, they've laughed with me and they've celebrated with me, and they were right there crying with me and grieving with me and experiencing the loss with me. When we needed to leave, it was another goddess and her husband who came to get us, who drove 1,500 miles the day before Thanksgiving to come get me and my girls so that we could come home. And you don't know what that means. When you have nothing, you have to go from having everything to having nothing. And they came and got us, and we left with pretty much my car and my kids. The first party I did when I moved back was 6 days later, and you try to put on your best happy face and try to make light of it because these people have watched you go through your struggle, and it was the first time since everything changed that I felt like who I was. Every day you're a little better, and then you look back and you're like, wow, I survived the first year. And you start being able to look forward instead of back. And there's so much to be grateful for, and there's so much to look forward to. And just like with your business, where you have peaks and valleys, and in your life you have peaks and valleys, that it's never too late to start over and build the life that you want. Every time I go out and do a party, it's like I take a little piece back of what I've lost, and a new piece of something new, and I'm building something that's even better than I imagined, which I thought was never possible.